In today's video, I'm going to be talking about my 3DS hardware, my DS collection, and my 3DS collection. We can't talk about games without further talking about the hardware that it is played on. And I only recently, within 3 weeks, got this new Nintendo 3DS XL. And when I first got this, the state of this console, let's just say, was well loved. Some kid definitely wore this down to the bone. When I got it, the shell was cracked, paint was chipping, the screen had to be replaced. I mean, it was well loved, like I said. Gave it a new shell. Had to give it the LL shell, which is a little unfortunate, but I did keep the bottom plate because it has the serial number on it. And just kind of played on that. I got in really cheap on it because I figured I'd give the new 3DS another shot. I originally got the stock 3DS, the original 3DS. Didn't quite understand it. Didn't really like the feel of the console. Appreciate it nonetheless, but didn't really get on with it. Which recently led me to buying the new 2DS XL, and I'm playing through Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. But the new 2DS XL is fantastic. Probably I could not gush more about this console. So beautiful. The buttons are lovely. I can understand what people are saying when they're saying that it's a cheaper feeling to like the 3DS XL. I mean, this has got some heft to it. I mean, you could, like, throwing this around, you could definitely throw this in a bag, but it's got too much weight to it, and that's kind of what led me to the 2DS XL. It's lighter, more portable. It doesn't have the 3D slider, which I felt was really gimmicky. I would try it in some games, but ultimately never used it. And it's got a form factor akin to the Switch Lite, but it's a clamshell, which is perfect in my opinion. You know, the 2DS, in my opinion, this is probably the best way to play. Of course, the 3D games do benefit from it, but you don't need it, and that's why I like the 2DS XL. One of the first DS games that I got complete from a friend was Mario and Luigi's Bowser Inside Story, and this game I haven't played yet, but I have to say this cover art of the white with the Bowser and the Mario and everything, this looks so good. I've heard good things about it, and apparently you can switch between Mario and Bowser. I'm excited to see what that's like. I've heard good things about that game, so I'm super excited for that. The next game is Puzzler Worlds, and I picked this up because it's got a bunch of different puzzle games: Sudoku, Hangman, Spot the Difference, Crossword, and I really like, spoiler, Crossword PLUS on the 3DS. And if it's anything like that, then dude, this is gonna be a good time. Next up is SpongeBob Truth or Square, and yeah, I mean, I figured a good SpongeBob game like Battle for Bikini Bottom in a portable form factor would probably be good, and this was just kicking around, so I picked it up. One thing I do want to note that I found kind of funny is, look at this cartridge art. Why is it SpongeBob's eyeball? That is so creepy. But, it's kind of funny. We can't talk about the antithesis of Lego games without talking about Lego Star Wars 2, the original trilogy. And I picked this up because I love Lego Star Wars 2. Man, so many memories. I think everyone has memories of this being the best Lego game. And having it portably, even if it's a more watered down version, is probably going to be really good. I was playing a little bit of it, and The customization is crazy. Next up is another Lego game. I figured I'd pick it up because it was kind of interesting, and that's Lego Pirates of the Caribbean, the first one. And I was like, you know what? It's TT Games. They make good stuff. And I figured another Lego game on the DS could be fun. Now, the next one I'm not going to pronounce because I'll probably butcher it, but it is this game. And it's probably like Shaolin or something like that, Shaolin Showdown. I think this was a TV show, but I don't really remember. But yeah, this was really cheap and it had high ratings, so I figured I'd grab it. By the way, all my games are complete. That's kind of how I roll. I would much rather have a complete game than just like a loose copy, or just like the case or whatever. So yeah, that's Shaolin Showdown. I can't wait to play that. Could be interesting. The next game is just good old-fashioned Scrabble. I figured if I were to ever find another DS user or whatever out in the wild, download play with something like Scrabble or like that crossword game, I think would be perfect. Do like a head-to-head Scrabble match or something. You know, that could be kind of fun. Plus for yourself, Scrabble is a good brain kind of teaser. So last but not least is Beyblade Metal Fusion. Man, do I remember playing this. Playing with the Bays as a kid, but watching the show especially, wanting that kid's Beyblade, the one with the orange, like, I don't know what they're called, but like the things on the bottom of the Bay, and they would like hit them in the show. I remember wanting that kid's Bay so bad. But yeah, that's all of my DS games. And we're moving on to the 3DS, and I have way more 3DS games than I have DS. Starting with the new Nintendo 3DS games, I have Xenoblade Chronicles 3D. Obviously not the definitive way to play Xenoblade Chronicles, but as a portable option, I've heard it's not bad, and it's a really good game nonetheless. Not a watered-down experience, just as port. The next game is Runbow Pocket Deluxe, and this was the moment I realized that Amazon is actually selling sealed, brand new 3DS games for, you know, a little above what the price goes on price charting, but it's only like $2, probably the shipping cost. You can't have a console without Minecraft, and Minecraft is on this list, and yeah, it's Minecraft. I think I much prefer using the C-Stick on the new Nintendo 2DS XL because it's not so right up against the hinge. More room to move. It's still terrible. It's still bad, but more of a novelty port in my opinion. Last on our new Nintendo 3DS list is Fire Emblem Warriors, and I've heard as a Warriors game, it's fine. As a Fire Emblem game, it's just whatever. But yeah, that could be my introduction into the Fire Emblem series, and yeah, it could be interesting. Of the regular 3DS games, we're starting with Sushi Strikers Way of the Sushirito. This game I had to stop playing because I got to a part in the beginning where it was just too goofy. I had to stop the game because I was laughing way too hard. But I will be coming back to this because the gameplay is really solid. Gameplay is good. Just the storyline is kind of funny. Next is Steel Diver, and this was one that I felt compelled to pick up because it kind of had like a weird calling. Like I was like, oh, you could do like submarine combats, you could do like the gyro thing, and I was like, you know what? That's kind of an interesting game. I have to get that for 3DS. This next one is admittedly just a cheap pickup, but it kind of interesting, and that's Real Heroes 3D Fighter. And it has that weird like budgety indie kind of title, while also looking like a legitimate like full release game in a way, if that makes sense. The next two definitely go hand in hand, and that's Ocarina of Time 3D and Majora's Mask 3D. The main reason I picked these up, other than being mainline Zelda, is because I can't get on with the 64 version. So I'm hoping with them being on 3DS, I can play through them comfortably and actually, beat them and enjoy Ocarina of Time 3D and Majora's Mask in the way that everyone else has. Up next is Triforce Heroes. And just one of those games that was compelled to pick up. It's got like multiplayer co-op. They really pushed that kind of four sword adventures kind of vibe to it, and I was like, this could be kind of interesting, and I just want to play through it. It looks really interesting. The last Zelda game in my collection is A Link Between Worlds. Now, this is the Nintendo Selects version. I typically don't pick up, I like to pick up the stock version, so like, if it was a re-release, I try and avoid that, but this was given to me, so I can't really complain. But yeah, and it doesn't have the badge on the spine, so I was excited about that. Playing through this was really cool. I definitely am going to come back to that, but started the playthrough was really interesting. Crosswords Plus was a game that actually surprised me a lot. I picked it up because it was really cheap. It was $5 on Amazon brand new. And I was like, that could be a laugh. Started playing it and was legitimately sucked in. It's a really solid crossword puzzle game. You draw the letter on the screen, and I have terrible handwriting, and it can register it really well. Next, I picked up this game, honestly, just because it has Steven Universe in it, and that's Cartoon Network Battle Crashers. If I had to take a guess, it's like a beat-em-up game where you play through the game with just Cartoon Network characters. But, yeah, Steven Universe is in it, so I have to play it. Next is one that gets kind of thrown around, and that's Codename Steam. It's like a steampunk game. Don't really know much about this, but it's talked about frequently when the 3DS is brought up, so I figured I'd pick it up, and it was really cheap. Chibi Robo Ziplash. Again, a really cheap game on Amazon. It was like $10. But, as they say, it's a bad Chibi Robo game, but as a 3D platform game, it's just an alright platform game with just brand relevance thrown in. Animal Crossing New Leaf. Actually, in here, I have the Welcome Amiibo version, but I put it in a regular Animal Crossing case because I don't like that Nintendo Select thing. So, yeah. Got the Welcome Amiibo version. And last but not least is Adventure Time Finn and Jake Investigations. And there was quite a few 3DS Adventure Time games and then a couple of Wii U Adventure Time games. And they always kind of intrigued me a little bit. So I figured I'd pick it up and see what it's like. So that was all of my DS, 3DS, and consoles. I hope you guys liked this video. I definitely wanted to get something out on the channel. So that was it. My 3DS, my DS, and my 3DS and 2DS consoles. I hope you guys like this video. I would really appreciate it if you like it and comment, or that lately videos are kind of more my speed because I can record a video and then edit it on my leisure and then post it. I hope you guys liked it, and I will see you guys in the next video.